It is Wednesday, June 16th, 2021. I'm on my way to the gym. If you ever considering doing something, if you ever like, if you know, something stupid like, I'm thinking about going swimming. The fact that it's gonna be 117 degrees outside might be an indicator that swimming could be a good idea to keep you cool, keep you refreshed. Or if you've ever had a thought about maybe I should go back to school, or maybe I should, there's been times when there were stores that I never go to that I would say, I need to go to the store. For some reason, I'm gonna go to this store, and I would bump into somebody that I hadn't seen in a long time, and it was a very good experience. Or for instance, we're looking at hiring somebody to come to our home and do some work. And so we're going through an interview process. And as we're talking to the person and yada yada yada, going through the details of things, I said, so how much are you going to charge? How much is this? And how do you accept your forms of payment? They say, well, it's going to be this much. We accept this kind of payment. Blah, 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 blah. Now, I didn't know. I didn't know that my wife, she didn't like the amount of money that they wanted to charge. Now, me and her are two different people in that regards. I believe that I make money to be able to take care of the things that I need and I want in life. I don't believe that I make money to just store it up. If there's things that will benefit the quality of my life and the money will be best spent to increase that quality, I would rather spend it. I don't know what she would rather do. She would rather look for a better deal. And I've learned, and this isn't a discussion about how we come to terms with how we hire and what we do with our money, but on a side note, I've learned that when you look for the cheaper price, you typically get the inferior service, not the superior. And with all that said, they gave us the price, and I was okay with it. I didn't have an issue with it. And later on in the afternoon, matter of fact, we got another person coming out today, and we're going to make a decision by Thursday. So later on the afternoon or in the evening, we got to talking about it. And she says, hey, I like everything. I just don't like the price. I said, well, I ain't got no problem with the price. I think it's all right. Sure enough, the mail comes in. My wife hands me a look, and you can always tell when there's a check in the mail. You can always tell when there's a check in the mail. You can always tell. And I said, oh, wow, there's a check in the mail. Look at it. And it happened to be from something we had overpaid. asked my wife, I said, how much was the service that they were talking about charging us for? My wife says, she said the amount. She said, I think it was this amount. And she said, I think it's this amount. Open up the check and show it to her. The check and the amount she had just quoted was the exact same amount. True story, this was just yesterday. But this kind of thing happens to us all the time, which is the reason why I'm having this conversation. Is that signs will always come up when you're supposed to do something. If you ever need additional convincing that you're on the right path to where you need to go, a sign will come up. Now, what you do with that sign is up to you. I don't believe we serve a God who feels compelled to make you do anything. I don't believe we serve a God who feels compelled to force your hand. I believe that if you ask for a sign, he'll give you a sign. If you want a symbol, he'll give you a symbol. Of leadership, of direction, on what you're supposed to do. It was the exact same amount. Another story, when you see my wife, ask her. And you say, well, that's coincidence. I will gladly pay that amount of money. I will gladly walk into that coincidence. And I will gladly accept my blessing. Because whether it's a coincidence, whether it's by chance, the fact that the numbers line up with the need means he's answered my prayer. Because there's no way the same day, and I'm telling you, the more you start acting on these things, the more God will start moving on your life faster and faster and faster. These things used to take years for me, and then they started taking months. Then they started taking weeks. Then they started taking days. Then they started taking hours. Now they're taking minutes. The more you believe in God, the more he speeds up the process to show you that he's there guiding you. Because he knows that the delay between his answer, the delay between your request, his answer, and back to you and your action is not going to be forever. God knows, he trusts me that when I ask for something and then when he delivers it and then I act on it, you see there's a bunch of giving, there's a bunch of things happening. He starts to move faster in your life. So again, if there's any indicators about what you should do, I would suggest that you move on it. Remember, your blessings aren't tied to me. Mine ain't tied to you. So if you don't react and do what you're supposed to do, it's no skin off anybody else's back. It's not going to hurt anybody else. It's not going to take away. It's not going to add to anybody else. But it could mean the difference between getting what you want, living how you want, and just settling for a life of quiet desperation. It's up to you.